those of you who don't know me, my name is Allie. I am the maker behind Crochet in the Mud, where I do both crochet plushies as well as pottery. And these 4 bags behind me are just the beginning of my market inventory, and I haven't tagged a thing. I do believe one of these bags is tagged from leftover 2025 inventory, but everything I've made in 2026 has not gotten tagged or inventoried, and a lot of them are new items I've never made before. So that also means they have an extra or a bunch of extra steps of making a listing for them on my website and then doing inventory, tagging them and all that, and pricing them and everything. So I do know there are some things in here that I cannot yet sell because they need to be priced still, and the way I like to price things, I need to make a second one so I can time how long it takes me as well as weigh out my materials and all of that. So today is currently Monday, and my first market of the year is Saturday. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I also have a pretty busy week, so tomorrow I work a shift at store A, and then I'm also firing a kiln this week, which means I need to go in tonight. I am loading my bisque kiln. We also have a member meeting, so 2 birds, 1 stone. And then Wednesday I'm going to be glazing all day, so I'm unloading the kiln that morning and then loading the kiln that night. I might also go in a little bit Tuesday afternoon if I have the energy to kind of make my life a little easier for Wednesday to not have quite so much, because those are like 10-11 hour days when I'm glazing. But that's usually what I do so that I don't have a bunch of sitting bisqueware. I usually try to glaze the same day I unload and then fire the kiln that day. Maybe I'll change that now that we live a little bit closer. I don't know. And then Friday I unload the glaze kiln. And this kiln is for the second market of the year. So I don't need to do all that inventory yet. That's going to be next week's problem. But I wanted to get it all done, so I have a week to... That week's going to be focused on doing the pottery inventory and then making cats, because most of this pottery is for the cat festival. But this video is going to be about doing all of this. So I do have some overflow. It's not just these 4 duffels, but I'm going to dump it all into a pile in this little nook in my office that I still haven't figured out what I'm doing with. And then my goal is to, at the very least, fill back up at least 1 bag per day, so that gets me through Thursday, so that hopefully Friday I don't have to worry about inventory. That's the goal. So the other hurdle to this is I do have some of my tags up here, but we still have not fully unpacked the new place, even though we've been here about a month now. And I've brought a lot of the boxes up here for my market, or like my office stuff, but I have not yet brought up the box of my tags. So that might be an issue where we then need to go hunt in the garage for them. But for now, I'm going to go and dump all of these out. Am I going to regret it? Probably. But for every plushie in here, we are going to be tagging it, adding it to my Excel spreadsheet for inventory purposes, so I know how much I have in inventory, as well as updating the inventory on my website. So 3 things for every plushie. I do know there's a lot of duplicates in here, so I'm hoping, like this one for instance. I know there's a couple more in these bags, so my goal is to do all of the little loaf boxes at the same time rather than one at a time. So let's quickly dump all these out. So this is just what was in the duffel bags. Now let me go get the other stuff. Now, I've been very productive this year. Holy cow. This will be fun. So most everything that was in the duffel bag was stuff I made. No, everything that was in the duffel bag was made before the move. And then I have a bunch of stuff I've made since we moved. that just didn't get put in the duffel. I already regret this giant pile. And I think that's the last of it. Maybe. Alright, so I've got my laptop here. I've got my thermal printer. We are crooked. So I guess there's no better thing to do than just get started. So I need to pull up. Okay, I have my Excel sheet pulled up and my website pulled up. I told you ideally I would like to just be able to grab all of them at once, but that's just not going to happen, at least at the beginning. So I'm just going to get what I can see and drop in the comments now, how much inventory do you think I have? My guess is 4,500. I have no idea. So from the beginning, I see 5 possums, so we're just going to stick with 5 possums for now. So I guess I also need to double check. I did change some of my prices for 2026. So I guess I need to confirm before I print out the price tags that the Excel spreadsheet is the accurate number. I need to make sure my website is also the accurate number before I print the price tags. This is going to take me a while. So it is currently Monday at 11 a.m. and today and Thursday's my freest day. I have no plans for Thursday, but I'm not quite sure how long I have today. So, I don't think I can do, you can't do a bag of inventory on Wednesday. So I guess we have one bag to do on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Alright, so possums are 18. I'm going to update my price at craft fair, or my inventory at craft fairs to 5. And then is there an easy way to print barcode labels? Now I use Shopify, and my barcode thing, I believe, was an app I added to my website just because I like having barcodes. I do have a barcode scanner, and I find it easier than having to search up, especially if somebody's buying multiple plushies. And I feel like it looks more professional, but sometimes we do just look stuff up. So it has been a while since I have printed these, so let's see if I did them correctly. Okay, nothing happened. Oh no. What is your issue? Printer's offline. Alright. So we're going to start the day with technical difficulties. My favorite. Alright, add printer. So I believe this is the 5th time I have done this. Okay, you're plugged in now. That USB port it was plugged into that USB port was plugged into is broken. Noted. Okay, maybe that was all my issues. Yep, that was my issue. So I loaded them in Crooked. Can you even see those? They're crooked, but it's okay. They work. I think I'm going to cut out a lot of this for future plushies. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. So we have our first 5 down. So whatever 5 times 18 is, I think that's, did I see it was $90 of inventory? So I like to have my price tags double as business cards so that they are physically attached to my plushie. And once you leave my booth, it's not, oh, I got it at this craft fair, or I also sell in stores. It's not, I got it at such and such store. They have my actual info. So one side is like a business card. It just like has my name and what I sell and everything. And then the back has care instructions. It has a QR code to get to my website and my social media. It has the price tag, all of that fun stuff. Alright. Then I use these little safety pins to hook them on. gonna take me so long. I wanted to do this earlier and just didn't get around to it. So, if we have any time left over, which I don't know if we will based on how busy my week is already, then we can also look at inventory and see what all I am short on so I can make more. But I don't think that's gonna happen. We also, I can tell you now, we'll have a pile of plushies that need to be priced. So that we could do this week. But they are probably going to sit in my closet for a little bit until after my cat festival. I haven't for sure, like I haven't yet signed up for the markets, but I have 2 in April I'd like to do. They are both just ones where like you pay and you're in kind of. So I was hoping to do my first market, make some money, and then put that towards the booth fees. So hypothetically, I will have 2 more markets in April, but maybe we'll do like 1 or 2 a week of pricing plushies that need priced. This is kind of a fun background now, and it will hopefully slowly dwindle as we go. So let's see here. We have 2 mice, and these honestly might be the only mice I have. The issue is, while I have been making stuff, I've also been restocking Store A a couple of times, so I think I gave them all of the mice I have except these 2. Who knows? If we find more, we can add them in later. So now the question is, does it have a listing yet? I know I've priced them. So this plushie has a listing, but it doesn't have a photo yet. So I am going to, I guess, make a second pile. I will print the 2 barcodes. I should have grabbed a box for something. Oh, it doesn't have a barcode yet. Create barcode. My mice are also $18. They are almost identical to the possum pattern. Both the possum and the mouse are by Crochet by Jenna. So again, I do my pricing based off of how long it takes me to make items, and then material costs, and also adding in a profit margin. Don't forget to add a profit margin. But the mouse is just ever so slightly more materials and time because it's an extra row, and then the tail is slightly longer, but they're gonna be the same price. The possum also went up in price, but that was partly due to profit margin and also supply and demand because it's one of the best sellers, so I raised the price a bit. Alright, so I put 1 in the bag, and then this one going to go. I have a box on the other side of the room that has other stuff in it, but I'm hoping that I'll just know when I see the price tag on it that it needs a picture taken. So a lot of these are gonna need pictures. Alright, I think next easiest in the pile I see are my maple chickens. I did these a little bit different this time around. I'm not gonna bother with adding a different photo because they're close enough. So these I made using the Loops and Threads Grande Ombre, or I think it's Grande Ombre, not the other way around, in the orange color. But I like the other color I used better. Did I grab all the chickens? I see 1 more up in the corner. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's find maple chicken. I normally make them in the color Spices Nice from the Brene Blanket Perfect Phasing. So I do have another 1 1/3 skeins of the Grande Ombre, so I'll finish those out on maple chickens, then I'll go back to Spices Nice, I believe is the plan. Print barcode. This is going to take forever. Now the first bit of the month and a little bit of December, when I didn't have markets, I was being a little more lax on myself. So that's why I have this problem, and I said the consequences of my own actions. So I usually try to be good about when I film my weekly makes, every Monday go through and price everything I made for that week. That way, it is less work at once. Sorry, I have no idea what I was saying. My husband just texted me. Oh, that way I have less pressing to do it once, and it takes me about maybe 15 minutes as opposed to this is going to take me several hours. We've got lots of chickens. So my plans for 2026 definitely took a turn. So I told myself at the beginning of the year I was going to try a bunch of new patterns this year, and I wanted to make a bunch of smaller plushies to have more variety of that, because that's what usually sells, and people are more willing to do like an impulse buy when it's a $20 plushie as opposed to a $50 plushie. And then I ended up having a lot of fun and making a bunch of medium and large plushies, which is great because I was enjoying myself, but now I have no idea what my small plushie inventory is like. So hopefully it is a decent amount. The hard part is all of this right here, majority of it is for my first market of the year, and then I am trying to only bring cat plushies to my second market of the year because it's a cat festival. A lot of those are on the other side of the room. They are still in the process of being finished because I finally went through and got my yarn that I like to embroider the cat buttholes with, but they still need stuffed and finished. So let's see here. I'm trying to grab tofu turtles. These are the 3 colors that I used to stock. So this one is Misty Jungle Green with almond. All of these are burnt eye blanket colors. This is baby pink and one of the icing colors, and then this one is also Misty Jungle Green and an icing color. But I don't know my plans for tofu turtles moving forward because I'm trying to transition to mostly Premier yarn. So we'll see if I end up ordering more of this yarn, or if I make new colors, or if I just get rid of tofu turtles. I haven't decided yet. So we shall see. But these are raised the price on, I believe. Tofu turtles are now $22. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I've got to make sure that their prices are updated. Product inventory. I, to Henry's dismay, keep track of a lot of my plushies by color. So each of these 3 are going to get a different barcode. 3 beige, 3 pink, 2 green, at least as of now. I might find more, I might not. A bunch of these ended up going to the store I sell in. One bonus too of selling in a store is that while I didn't have markets for December, January, February, December was a new thing for me not having markets during. I was doing an experiment. But knowing that I have at least a chance of making sales still, even without having markets, is nice. I think we're almost out of tags. I was hoping those would last me longer than they did. Oh, I selected the wrong tofu. Alright, thankfully it looks like I already updated the tofu turtle price, so I don't have to worry about that. So now it is already 11:30. It's already been 30 minutes of me doing this, and I feel like I have not made a dent at all. It might be helpful if I go through and sort some stuff. I don't know. Alright, so after tofu turtles, I have 3 tags left. So I think once I safety pin these on, I am going to have to go down to the garage and find my box. So that'll be fun. When is everyone's next market of the year? Let me know in the comments. I'm still trying to remind myself that I have a market this Saturday, but my brain's like, I have plenty of time before market season. No, I have one this weekend and next weekend. Lately, I've been really obsessed with Snuggle Beans Crochet splooting patterns. I have been making so many, and I just want to keep making them. I still have more patterns. I bought like 11 of them at once. So I still have some that I haven't made yet. But the issue is they take I want to say like an hour and a half for me to make them. So they're in like the $70 to $80 price range. And those usually take a little bit longer to sell if it's in that price range. So I'm in the dilemma of like how much time do I dedicate to making them, because they're adorable. And let me show you one if you haven't seen them before. So this is the fox spluter. So they can sit and they can also sploot. And she has so many. Like, I know in this pile I have fox, unicorn, cat, lion, zebra, a frog. I don't know if there's more in the pile or not, but I love them. They're just so cute. And if you're curious, this is Crochet blanket size compared to Crochet junkie size. The only other difference is this one I did the black tips and I did not do black tips on this one. But super cute. I have a ton of foxes in this pile because I have so much orange to get through since I bought like 8 skeins from Joann, because they were like 90 cents on the last day. So how could I not buy a Crochet blanket skein for 90 cents? So I'm gonna go run to the garage, hopefully find, I think I know where it is, fingers crossed, and then lug it up 2 flights of stairs. So I will be back in a second. And I have the rest of my tags. So I most definitely should not be running out now, because this box was 2,500 tags. I've used some, obviously. Oh no. So these were in a tote that I also had my resin materials for making eyes. And as soon as I opened the tote, I could smell, I believe it's isopropyl alcohol that before you cure it, you can clean it with. And it seems to have spilled a little. It's mostly contained in the bag. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't think these got wet. I don't know. Some of them were bent. So I got nervous. I also had my crochet books in there, so I was extra nervous. But luckily they were above. Like, they were higher in the tote than the liquid was. So I think they're fine. I'm very glad as I was packing them, I just at first threw it in, and I was like, let me give it its own bag, just in case. So I'm torn for how to dress this week. I'm currently wearing pants. I have my fan going, my windows are open. I don't even know what the temperature currently is. It is currently 62, but most of this week has a high of 70, but then the low is in the lower 40s or upper 30s. And like, I know I'm not going to be coming home tonight until probably 7 or 8. So I know it's going to be cold by then when I leave, so I don't want to wear shorts today. But also I'm sweating right now. It does look like Wednesday, when I'm going to be glazing all day, the high is much lower. So I think I am going to still wear pants that day. But tomorrow, I might wear shorts. I am going to store A tomorrow, and then potentially glazing. I also would like to restock store B this week. I don't know if that's happening. I have so many things I need to do this week. Initially, I had put down that today I would go to store B on my way to the studio for the meeting and loading my kiln, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. Okay, should have grabbed everything with a tag first. So let me make a pile of that. I'm just going to set it next to me. Stuff that's already tagged should be mostly stuff that was left over from 2025. But I just want to make sure that it's in my inventory. Tags. My water. And I just ripped this tag. I should have known better. Yeah, that tag's seen much better days. I will give them a new tag. That's the only downside to these tags, is they do kind of get beat up. So I guess I'll also give the unicorn a new tag. Alright, so let's check products inventory. Okay, pricing guide. I should have one blissful bear. So I have one. And find the price is still the same. Put it in the bag. Much quicker for these ones. Alright, then we have a feisty fox. Price is still the same. Check my website inventory. Correct. I'm also going to give this one a new tag because it is pretty bad. This guy has a tag. I'm hoping that's everyone that has a tag. Oh, here's another one. The pre-tagged ones will help me fill up a bag quickly. Alright, let's check clownfish. Yeah, one small, one large. Now we gotta double check the price didn't change. I'm definitely going to have a giant variety at my market of inventory. Let's see. Oh, I changed a price. Okay, the medium is now 28. And the large is still 32. Okay, so just the medium needs to change to 28. I've already changed it. I just need to print a new tag. I'm trying to make a comfy space to put my little leg out. Also, normally when I print labels, I do more than one at a time. But there's just so many options right now. I'm not. But maybe by the end of this, we will start doing more than one at a time. That's not good. Alright. Next on our list, or our ones that already have tags, we have the raccoon. And I think this is adorable. I don't know why it didn't sell at markets. I also saw, I told you I'm obsessed with these splitter patterns lately. The newest splitter pattern is a raccoon. Oh, I need it. Actually, I have two of them. So I have one in Burning Blanket, one in Parfait Chunky. Both of them are on my website. Now let's add them to our inventory. 38 is still correct, and 42 is still correct. So these are only different prices. I think they're $6 apart due to material costs. They take the same amount of time, even though this one is much smaller. Alright, let's do this guy next. A lot of these that I had left over from 2025 are from the Crochet by Jenna book. Because they didn't sell, unfortunately. I made 2 of everything. Okay, I have 1. So they're just taking a little bit longer to sell, and that's fine. $38 is correct. One thing I was sad to see not sell are these go in your tree. They are cat butt ornaments, and this one even has the balls on it. And I thought for sure these would sell, but they did not. But I've debated bringing them to my cat festival and bringing a Christmas tree to display them. I don't know yet. For now, I'm going to set them in the closet and hopefully not forget that I did that. Alright, I've found 2 chickens currently, and I believe that's it. So these are left over, actually, from 2025. $18 each is still correct, and they were not in my website inventory. That's why we check all the places. So these are now marked at the website. Throw them in the bag. We're getting close-ish to filling her up. Now I have a crap ton of squids. So I do have a weekly makes on this. I ordered most of the variegated colors from the Premier Basics chenille line, both the tie-dye and the multi. And I tested them by using every skein to make a baby squid, and then the leftover yarn I made some pocket octopus. So I do have quite a few of the squids left over, and that's because I had like 15 of them. I don't know how many. So let's check the inventory. Okay, so it says I should have beach ball. And of course, I don't remember their names. So we have beach ball. It says should have 2 daisy chain. Granted, this is not 2 daisy chain. I just deemed these 2 colors were very similar. And moving forward, I will be repurchasing daisy chain. So one of them is the multi, one of them is the tie-dye. But daisy chain is the one I like better. Then I should have a groovy glow. This one, I believe. What else? Groovy glow. And then I should have a hummingbird, which is this one. I should have a peace and love, which is this one. A pink lemonade. A spring, which is in the pile if I truly have it. Okay, this is where okay. So I should have a spring, and then a second one that looks similar to this. I have 2 squids in the pile to find, so wish me luck. I found one of the squids. We are just going to mark the other one as not in inventory, and then if we find it, we can correct that. So this one is spring, so I'm going to remove the other surf. And I'm really hoping that these prices stay the same. Baby squids, 28, yes. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squids. I'm also going to double count the inventory that I marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I also did find a couple more tofu turtles while I was back there, but I did not dig them out. So let's just keep going. I do have 2 of my chocolate kiss pattern. This profit margin is not high enough, but honestly, I'm just trying to sell these to get rid of them. So I'm just going to leave it as the price they were. It had gotten deleted from my spreadsheet, so I had to look it up. But we're just going to leave it. So these are $18. And then supposedly I have a silver one in the pile. But again, for now, we're just going to remove it from inventory and call chocolate kisses done. I know I'm going to find more jellyfish, so I'm just going to throw that back in the pile. Okay, so we are going to reprint 3 of the tags that I had. Actually, let me just double check that their prices are correct. So we have a moodang, we have a unicorn, and then we have a chibi bear. This is the only downside to these. I could get thicker paper, I guess, but like they get bent. This corner where I hole punch will sometimes rip and bend. But for now, we're just gonna leave them. I mean, I'm gonna use what I bought. You can't find mooding. Oh, templates, huh? Can you tell I haven't used this in a while? Okay, now find the unicorn to add. Find the dare to be different bear. One. These are now trash. Unfortunately, even though I keep telling myself to grab them, I don't have a trash can up here yet, so I'm just making a pile that I will have to eventually go pick up and put into a trash can. So we're almost filled 1 bag. I mean, with these 3 we will, but these are kind of bigger, so I am going to throw them in a third or a second bag, because the bigger plushies are easier if you add them into the bucket first rather than last. So even though I'm starting a second bag, we're not done with the first bag. You know, it's only been an hour so far. I'm going to hate myself when I have to edit this, because I am literally just filming the entire time, and I'm going to have a bunch of gaps of speaking to cut out. But that's okay. I guess I should say, do you all like this kind of video, or is me putting in all this effort not worth it? Let me know. I think I'm going to try out the new quiz thing that YouTube just added in, so maybe something will pop up on your screen to hit yes or no. I guess if you're still watching this far into the video, you do like this video, but let me know anyway. Okay, so we've hit our first for sure. I don't have a price for this one. So this is an alien axolotl. I started it in Vlogmas on a challenge to finish this blue scheme, but I need to make another one so I can price it. So that I'm going to throw in that box as well. It also will need a photo eventually. Oh, I did not realize that this yarn was sticking out. I need to repair that. Honestly, maybe I'll just take I'm just going to take the, what are words? Just take the black yarn out. It would be easier if I had my needle with me. Throw them in the back pile. Alright, next I'm seeing 3 of my chunky fox. So let's find out if I even have a listing for this fox. I do, but again, no photo. So I will throw one over to get photos, but for now we're going to say we have, at the very least, we have 3 of these for inventory. Again, I know I gave some to the store I sell in, so who knows if, is this Finn the Fox? No, this is not Finn the Fox. Chunky Fox. Is that what I called it on here too? Print barcodes. I guess create them first. Where do you all like to put your price tags on your plushies? I personally always put them on the butt. I find it fun when someone asks me the price to be able to say, it's on its butt. I don't say it like that, but you know what I mean. These are $26. They did take a little bit more time than my other small plushies, but I think they will do great. And as a benefit, it'll help me use up a bunch of my orange yarn, because I still have 4.5 skeins of the Burnight Blanket orange. Okay, so I put 2 in the bag, and this one is going in the box to take photos. Let's do a check-in to see where we're at price-wise. So everything that I've entered so far brings us to $1,304 of inventory, and we still have all of this to go. Look, we found another tofu turtle. I think my next course of action is going to be dig out the easy plushies. So by that I mean like ones I know for sure that already have listings and everything. So like I'm gonna grab my axolotls, my tofu turtles, I have a mallard duck, these jellyfish. So let's see where that all gets me. We have a mushy boy, axolotl. We'll count this, even though this is a new color axolotl, so it'll need a price or a listing made. Chick with frog hat. Another chicken that already has a tag on it. Axolotls. Pretty turtle. This guy has a tag, so I'm going to take it too. Currently I have a decent chunk that are classified as easy, so that's good. Okay, I think it is now sorted. That means all of this in that pile need listings made. I also did leave behind a bunch of like the pocket pals because I want to do them last because there's a bunch of different colors in here. So we're just going to leave pocket pals until the end. So let's see. I did find quite a few more tofu turtles. So a lot of them there, a lot of jellyfish, a lot of axolotls. First I'm going to do, this is the Gentle Giraffe, also from the Crochet by Jenna book. This one sold really well. And I was doing in my closet yarn challenge, I had this, I think it's called Buttercup, that I wanted to use up. So I made 2 of those. They are 2 different spots colors. And this one I changed the Oscones on, and I love this one a lot more. But I do in the future want to use caramel for these spots, and I finally got caramel. So I think I'll use chocolate for the Oscones and the caramel for the spots maybe. But for now, we've got these 2. Let's see. Gentle Giraffe. Maybe Thursday will be a big day of making listings. Need 2 added to craft fair. And then I am going to try to do a bunch at once. I'm going to set it to the side as soon as I put it in on the computer. Mighty Mallard, also from the book. That also sells really well. Oh, I should double check that I didn't up the price. $48 for the giraffe. That is still accurate. Mighty Mallard is $36. I think people just like any sort of mallard duck. Okay, that price is still accurate. 1 at inventory. This pig already had a tag, also from the book. Let's check that. Peaceful pig. My back is definitely starting to get sore from sitting here on the floor and bent over. Yep, it's marked in my inventory or my website. Let's check this or add it to the spreadsheet because I just deleted everything in the spreadsheet. $34, correct. Alright, what's an easy next one? This is the Feisty Fox from that book. This one's made out of Parfait Chunky, so I don't have an inventory for that, or a listing for that, so just throw it on the pile. I was hoping. Let's do tofu turtles again and see what we have. So I did have to get creative with this one. I used up the rest of my Macy Jungle Green on the shell, and I want to say the body I used Premier Yarn. I don't know which one. Sorry, I was going to try sand. I don't know. So here we have a lot more of the beige. There's 5 currently. Here's a pink. Another pink. Another beige. And I think that's it for tofu turtles. Hopefully. So not a lot of the green variant. Okay. Search up tofu. Oh, I also have 1 singular pizza. Okay, 1 pizza. 2 more pink. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more beige. Which brings me to 9 beige. Sorry if you can hear the noise outside. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're picking up trash. Print barcodes. Okay, what did I say? 6 beige. 2 pink. 1 pizza. 2 giraffes. 1 mighty mallard duck. This is normally more of what I do, where I print a bunch of ones. It is now 12:21. So my goal for the day might be finish up this pile in front of me of the easier stuff, which will hopefully get me to 2 bags. And then I'll probably do tomorrow go in and glaze a bit, so that Wednesday's not so much. And then Thursday, when we have no plans, try to finish this up. And then Friday morning if I need any more time. That's probably what's going to happen. And then in the evenings, when it is sundown, I can crochet a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how much more I can fit in this bag before it's too full. Or just a handful more. And then this bag can move to the garage and not take up space in the office, because the office is getting very cluttered right now because it's mostly filled with boxes that I still need to unpack. But I've been prioritizing doing other stuff for the market. I'm gonna add the pizza turtle, and then I'm going to officially call it on bag number 1. I'm hoping I can fit everything back in the 4 duffels, with the exception of the cats, because they're not coming to the first market. And it's now buried in here, but I do have an Anchor the Octopus that was in these bags when we were moving, at least. But I don't plan to put Anchor the Octopus back into the duffel bags. So I'm hoping that will make an effort, but probably won't. Well, we are taking a couple of plushies out because they aren't priced yet. So maybe we will. I don't know. This market that I'm going to is the St. Patrick's Day market, and I've done it twice in the past. This will be my third time. I did not do it last year because they waitlisted me. I was utterly shocked to get that email saying I was waitlisted. So this market is very busy, and in the past when I've done it, like, the cell signal has not worked. So I could not run my credit card. So it was a lot of, okay, let me hold this for you while you go to the bank to get cash, or wait a couple of minutes while your phone loads Venmo and then show me proof on your end that it's sent. So hopefully it's still very busy. We did go last year as customers, and it was still pretty busy, but hey, I found that other spot I was looking for. It was still busy, and as a customer, like, it was too busy to where you literally were shuffling as a group down the, like, walkway, but then, like, you couldn't really stop to go into tents. So that could be a bad sign. I don't think I added the tofu turtles. Okay, I printed 8 regular tofus and 1 pizza tofu. And I think I added the giraffe. Yeah, I did that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add this squid back in. What did I say it was called? Surf? Now that he's in, finish up my pile. Now there is a chance, like I just realized, I did not add the tofu turtle inventory into my spreadsheet, but I added it to the website. I might make that mistake again. So it's an approximate inventory of what we're bringing. So I'll probably sit down and do inventory again at some point. Ideally, I try to do it every couple months, but I'm normally too lazy to go through hundreds of plushies and double check it. So normally when I get lower in inventory, that's when I like to go through and do it because it's less work. Alright, that's everything I had in this pile. Let's now move on. Mallard ducks. I have 2 in my pile. One has a tag, the other does not. Mallard duck. I'm starting to hit the point where I don't want to do this anymore, so we'll see if I can finish this pile of easy, or maybe I'll take a break and have lunch and come back to it. But mallard duck, craft fair says I have 2. I mean, I do have 2, but only one has a tag. So I guess I'll just quickly go print this one's tag and then go take a lunch break because it is 12:30. And then we'll see if I end up coming back to finish this up, or if I just crochet a little bit more before I head to the studio, and maybe I will go to store B today. There's too many things to do. I also need to go to the bank this week. I need to renew my sales tax license. I procrastinated that, but so many things on the to-do list. Did I mark it in? I think I did. In my spreadsheet? Yes, I did. Alright, so I guess before I go on a lunch break, we are currently at $1,738 of inventory. So we are getting there. And most of everything that I've done so far are the smaller plushies that are more impulse buys. That is now in the bag, or it rolled out. I will put it back in the bag. So I'm going to take a break, go have lunch, and then if I'm in the same shirt, that means I came back after lunch. If I'm in a new shirt, it's a new day. Alright, so I did come back, and I am determined to finish this before finishing for the day. So I did go ahead and quickly sort everything before jumping on. So the pile of axolotls, the pile of jellyfish, and then a pile of others. And as soon as I turned the camera off, I realized I need to be better at turning around, because I told you I had my Website said I had 2 of these, which meant they should be tagged. And it was back there. So I have 3 mallard ducks. So I'm going to go in and update that. Hopefully mallard duck is still pulled up. It's not. And then I can back up enough to get back to mallard duck. Yep, there we go. So we have 3. Update the spreadsheet. Alright, so let's do axolotls. And I don't have nearly as much as I had hoped. So I do usually like to have the entire rainbow of axolotls, which at this point is like 14 different colors, but I don't. So let's see what we do have. Bubbly blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have swore I made dark blue, but I guess not. Okay, and then light pink, which the bubbly blue is my second best color. This is my best selling color. I only have 2 of these, so that's not great. I have 3 of the deep fuchsia. Then I have 2 yellow, which is one of my worst selling colors. And an orange, which again is one of my worst selling colors. And then, yeah, this cannot be right because I made 2 of each color. So I have 1 more of these somewhere. But we're going to leave those to the side because they actually need listings. So put them back in that pile back there. So 1 or 1. Let me actually go to, let's count this. Okay. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I wrote down 13. So I'm going to mark on my spreadsheet 13 and hopefully it comes out to 13 on when I go in and print barcodes. So let's mark them as I move them to this side. So I have 1 orange, 2 yellow, I have 3 deep fuchsia, actually I marked 4, 2 baby pink, and then 3, 4, 5, which adds up to 13. So perfect. I think the biggest eye opener right now is my pile of jellyfish. Granted, I could have missed something back there, but I thought I had a lot more of my purple colors of jellyfish. You'll see them in a minute, and I only have 1, but I have a crap ton of light pink, and that was due to me trying to finish out a skein of light pink. So I was just, and I don't think I finished it out in the end. So lots of light pink. So I won't need to make a light pink jellyfish for a long time. Potentially I can give some to store A and B. I guess I can look before I commit all of those to markets. And my axolotls are $21. I don't think I mentioned that part. So I think if I have time, axolotls I could use a couple more light pink. I could definitely use some light purple. That's my 3rd best selling color, but I doubt that's happening. That's okay. I'll just aim for my April markets to have them all. And I'm trying to be better this year about just acknowledging that it's okay if I don't have the exact inventory that I want. As long as I have inventory, we're fine. And it's okay if I want to mix it up and make different things. Because that's an issue I normally find myself in, where I put myself in a box. It's my own problem, like my own fault, where I feel like I have to have the entire rainbow of axolotls at every market. I have to have enough possums, chickens, maple chickens, mallard ducks. The best sellers I feel like I have to always have at each market, and that then causes me to get tired of making the same plushie over and over again. Like right now, I have been making the same cat pattern. I think I'm at somewhere between 30 and 40 of them finished. I think. And I believe I wrote down between all the different fur patterns, I want to have 56 done. And granted, that one is for Cat Festival, so that's why I want to have so many of that one cat pattern, and then I want to have other cat patterns as well. Which hopefully we'll be tagging those as well later in this video. But by the end of that week of doing just that one pattern on repeat, I was tired of that pattern. I did raise the price of the cats by $6 because the profit margin wasn't high enough. So I'm hoping it doesn't affect me too much at my market. But I'm also hoping to make a smaller cat pattern for that market. But again, my time is limited. So we'll see if that happens. But I don't think $24 is an outrageous amount to charge. Oh, I wasn't reading my tags. Okay, this got labeled wrong. There we go. Okay. That's what I get for talking and not paying attention. I just labeled these three the wrong color. Thankfully, though, it's a very easy fix. I will also be changing up the colors of these axolotls at some point. I do know, granted this is Perfect Hooky, but this is the colors Cotton Candy and Hibiscus, and the basic Chenille Brights has those same colors. So once I run out of the deep fuchsia I have, which is this darker color, I've still been pairing it with Brene Baby Pink because I don't like the fuchsia with Cotton Candy. Once I run out of those two yarns, I will be switching, hypothetically, to that. Oh, and of course, I just found another yellow axolotl. I think I can still easily print the yellow, hopefully. Print that. I'll have to go in and edit inventories. Alright, so it's tagged. Now I will update my spreadsheet and then edit inventory. So now let's do the jellies. I'm gonna count them as I move them. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. This is the purple I was talking about. I only have one of them. And then I have 2 of this combo and 2 of this combo. And I'm devastated. This top is sea glass, seafoam, one of those. And apparently they're discontinuing that color. So I am not too thrilled about that. I said 11 pink, 1 purple, sea glass, and bubblegum. Those are the colors. 2 of those, and then the opposite, 2 of that. And I think jellyfish price might have gone up. Yeah, it did. They're 24 now. 11 plus 2 plus 4. 11 plus 1 plus 4. 16. That's what we got. Alright, let's... Yeah, these ones that are tagged are wrong price. So we will have to print those out anyway. Okay, it looks like all of them have the updated price, thankfully. I think with the jellies, that's going to finish out bag 2. So I don't think all of this is fitting in 4 bags. No! So this name is so long that it does not print the end of it, which tells me what color everything is. But I can tell, based on the number, that this all is the pink one. So I'm just going to do pink first. Oh, there's the third one with the tag. There we go. So I'm sure most of what I've done so far are like the commonly made patterns. But back here is where we get to be unique and different. And I have the perfect amount hole punch to do the pink. Not the other ones. But the pink ones, yes. There's a nice breeze outside coming through the window. That's what we'll talk about. Now, you'll notice, like, I think I said I had 11 of these light pinks. I don't put all 11 on the table at once. I'll probably put 2 of them out. And then I usually have a bag of overflow behind us. So then, like, when one of the pink jellies sell, we will put another one out. I really like to have that kind of back stock for better sellers, but I don't know how much of those I will have for this. Usually 2 of each color is like the max I'll put out of something. Alright, what do I do with? Time to hole punch some more. I'm definitely flying through these tags, but that's fine. I did just find one tag that I was going to reuse, but I changed the price of it, so I just barcoded over top of it. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? It was still in pristine condition. Oh, good to know. There are just a couple. Oh, these are not all facing the same way. That could have been bad. So now I need to figure out which of these goes to which, so that if I do scan with a barcode scanner, it brings up the correct product. So this one is a 117. Perfect. We are almost done for at least today's portion. So I have some Chicklet frog hats. So I'm pleased to see I have a fair amount of them. Some booty turtles, some dragons, a couple of leggy frogs, a mushy boy, a squid, and a chicken. So not too much more. And then I can get off the floor. Just to do it again later this week. Alright. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it on this bag. Now I use IKEA duffel bags, which have since been discontinued, unfortunately. But I only have the 4. So I might, I've debated buying a different brand of duffels. I don't know. So if you couldn't tell, I really like that color combo. Let's see what we have. So we've got a squid, which I just deemed raising the price on. So profit margin wasn't what I wanted to be. Oh, my back hurts. And the sun has migrated in the room to be right on where my computer is. And now it's not loading. There we go. Maybe I'll be stopping here if my computer does not want to cooperate. Yeah, my laptop does not want to cooperate, so we're going to call it as a sign and end here for the day. So I did 2 duffel bags. We still have a lot of work to go, but it'll be fine. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow. I really need to get some progress on this. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow. It is now Tuesday, so let's work on filling another bag. Hopefully today can go a little faster. It is currently 4:18, and apologies for the light being right in my face. I'll try to scoot over a little bit. I worked my shift at Store A this morning, and I am tired. I didn't think the time change was going to affect me, but I normally wake up automatically at 6:30 in the morning. Very frustrating. But of course, 2 days before the time change, I started to sleep in a little bit, and then I had to leave my house by 8:30 this morning, so I had to actually set an alarm. But we've got a little friend joining us today. I think you can kind of sort of see her. What's up, Jennifer? She's going to join the plushies, it seems. So I know I left off with this guy, so I guess let's just keep going. I did change the squid price. Alright, so I need to update that. So it's now going to be $56. Yeah, I'm just going to do that and set it to the side just like we were doing yesterday. And then I will print a bunch off at once. So next on the list are these 2 dragons. I do make this one in the Parfait Chunky, which is this size, as well as in Bernay Blanket. So these are $54. And it looks like that was the original price. Y'all, I don't know why. I just have no motivation today. After I got home, laid on the couch for about an hour and just doom scrolled. And I could have stayed there all night. I did decide to not go and glaze this afternoon like I had originally mentioned as a possibility yesterday because yesterday time got away from me. I was hoping to be able to go to Store B before I went to the studio, and then I was going to do a bunch of stuff at the studio before the meeting started, and I didn't get to the studio. I didn't even go to Store B. I did not get to the studio until I think I had 40 minutes before the meeting, which was not enough time to load my kiln and do all the things to prep for the meeting. So I had to finish loading the kiln after the meeting, which then meant that I think I started the kiln at 9 p.m. and I looked it up and it said on the speed I put it at, it's about a 24 hours to run the whole thing and cool down. So that means I wouldn't be able to glaze until about 9 p.m. tonight, and I'm not doing that. So we will just go in tomorrow. So there's 4 chick with frog hats, 7. And these I sell for $16. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there and print. You know, I could keep going. We have a handful more items to get through, and then we have to actually touch our pile. It was fun while I was making the items and exploring new patterns. I'm sure you all understand. Alright, then we have the dragon. So this just reminded me as I called this squid a subtle lesbian flag. So as I'm looking it up to try to print this guy out, I'm getting a bunch of reminders of all of the other Pride products I have. So Pottery Studio right now, the focus is for the Cat Festival. And then I'm hoping to do a soda firing with one of the other guildmates. And she's hoping to do that about early to mid-April. So I'll possibly need to go in and make stuff for that. If I don't, I will probably have stuff left over from this kiln. But if not, I'll need to make some more stuff for that. And then next priority after that is to make more Pride pottery. So I found a really cool technique to kind of make the pottery look tie-dye and be able to incorporate all of the colors of the different flags. I should probably in there somewhere also do a regular load of just non-themed pottery to have for markets, and Store A really needs some new pottery added to it because they have sold out of their back stock. I don't sell pottery too often there, but I do think it would help if I gave them new stuff because they're kind of down to the not as fun pottery left. Yeah, I don't think I have much energy today to do very much of this. So we'll see what all we can get done. So thankfully we did 2 bags yesterday. It was fun at Store A because I got to work with the manager who also crochets. So Store A has 3 different locations, so she sells her work at a different location, but it's always nice getting to chat about crochet stuff, and we talk about yarn a lot, where we're buying yarn now that Joanne is gone. I was talking to her today about yarn inspirations, just emailed earlier this week, I think it was like 2 days ago, about their color of the year. I didn't even know that was a thing. And apparently the skein is 1,000 grams. A normal Brene blanket skein is 300 grams. So I've gotten the 600 gram skein before, so I'm just trying to picture how giant the 100 gram or 1,000 gram one would be. It's $50 normally, but there's a 40% off sale right now, so it's $30. And I'm really tempted, but tell me why, even though that is a little more than 3 skeins, my brain's like, well, if you're gonna get it, you might as well get 2. That's 2,000 grams. That is just shy of 7 regular skeins. I don't need that much of one color. But I also feel like if I only get 1 skein, my brain is going to just hoard it and not use it. And then I did pick out a couple of other colors of like the new lines that just came out. I think Pixel is one of the lines, and then the Ethereal Stripes that is at Target's in California. So I added stuff to my cart. I want to say it's at $85, something around there. And I was trying to do experiments to see what the free shipping threshold is, and I still don't know. It's not $75. But when it's at like $86, it is. So I'm thinking it's like $80 or $85, which just feels like a weird number to be the free shipping threshold. But they wanted $10 for shipping, and right now, Brene blanket is $8.99 a skein with the sale. So I'd rather just buy another skein. It is hot up here, so the hair is going up. Alright, next on our never-ending list are booty turtles. So mine are made out of Crochet Chunky and key lime and acorn. I think some of the shells are teddy bear. It was kind of just whichever I had sitting around. Looks like I have 4 of them, and these are $28. I also decided to be bad today, and I got McDonald's. Alright, we've got 4 more plushies, but 3 like categories. We have a chicken. This one already has a tag, so it's just as simple as making sure the website says I have a chicken and then adding it to the spreadsheet. I believe this is my only chicken. Yo, I'm so paranoid. I'm home alone this week, and I swear I just heard a noise. It's fine. Nobody's here. Have I already done chickens? Okay, I've already put 2 chickens away. Okay, so this is a 3rd chicken. That one's going straight in the bag, though. Then we have our one and only mushy boy, I believe. I was having a lot of troubles rationing my white yarn because I knew I needed it for cats, and I didn't have a lot. I've gone through so much white this year. I want to say I've used 3 skeins on cats. Alright, that's the mushy boy. And then leggy frogs, I only have these 2 scrap busters. So this one you can very easily tell that it's 2 different greens. Sorry, it's bright in the sunlight. Oh goodness. This one's a little more subtle, but the bottom half is a solid while the top is variegated. So these are $14. I wish I had more, but I guess I gave them all to Store A. But I didn't want to give my scrappy ones to the store. So I have 2 at the market, and that's okay. So I'm now officially, once I print these tags, done all of the easy plushies. Not looking forward. We'll just go one step at a time. Leggy frogs. I need a booty turtle and mushy boy to print. There's just 4 booty turtles. I about printed 5. I got reminded last night, simply because one of his songs came on. We are going to a Louis Capaldi concert in April. So when we were potentially moving to Texas, that was one of these sad things that I saw, because he announced that he's doing a small leg of his tour in the US, and he's going to Red Rocks, which is a really famous outdoor venue, but he was not going to Texas at all. So when we were in our limbo of are we going to Texas, I was like, man, we're going to miss him. And then we didn't move. And I talked about it so much that Henry got both of us tickets for Christmas. Because his mom is the type of person who enjoys like experiences over physical items, which I really enjoy. So he's been doing that a lot for me, and like will get me concert tickets and stuff for people who I want to go see. But I use DJ on Spotify, who just picks songs for me, and he hasn't played Louis Capaldi in a while, so I forgot that was a thing. And then one of his songs came on last night while I was listening to music, and it got me excited. So I really want to do a day of only listening to his music, because I always like doing that before we go to a concert. So maybe I'll do that at some point. Let me know down in the comments what is your #1 artist you would love to see in concert that you haven't seen before. Henry really wants to see both Adele and Chaperone. I forgot her name for a second. Both of which have a reputation of canceling concerts last minute. But I would really love to go see Sabrina Carpenter again. I had so much fun at the Short and Sweet tour, and I loved every song on Man's Best Friend. I think that's my favorite album of all time. House Tour is my #1. So I'm waiting for the announcement because she confirmed in multiple interviews she was gonna do a Man's Best Friend tour. And I know she's filming an Alice in Wonderland movie. But if she doesn't do a concert or a tour for it, it's okay. But that's my favorite album. I want to see her again. Alright, that's it for the easy stuff. Okay. Some of this is priced. So I could, well, I guess the stuff that's not priced has to get set aside for later. Like, I know this box with a chicken hoodie needs to get priced, so it needs to get set aside. Did I pick a space? I'm just gonna put it in the closet. This I've made this pattern before, not with this yarn, but I think I'm just going to go with the same price. Same with this one. I've made this pattern before, just not with this yarn. This one is made out of Big Twist Plush. This one is Sweet Snuggles Lights. Well, the main color is the Parfait Plush, but then the purple was Sweet Snuggles Light. I don't believe I've priced the unicorns yet, so those will get set aside. This zebra splooter is not priced. This giraffe is not priced. This tiger is not priced. This frog splooter is not priced. I think that's all of the easy, like, stuff I can see off the top that's not priced. I do know I'm going to make 2 more of this dinosaur. 1 more in this colorway, and then another of the flipped with the pink as the main and the blue as the accent. This is supposed to be a spin on my Triceratops sticker, so it's made in the transgender colors, and it's supposed to be for Pride, so I am going to set this aside because while I have how long it takes, I don't have a material cost for the Big Twist Plush version, but since I'm making 2 more, and it was intended for Pride, not necessarily, I'm going to hold it until that market. I'm just going to set it aside for one less thing to do. Alright, the other of this axolotl came forward, so I'm just going to go ahead and do those real quick, especially because they are priced. It's just a new colorway, so I guess I need to know their color names. I think Caribbean is one of the colors. Where's my phone? Okay, so the darker one is called Caribbean. She is again one with the plushies. What's your goal? You gonna jump in? The last time I did a giant inventory, that was about a year ago. I placed them all on our guest bed because at the time I was sharing my office with the guest bed, and I went to eat lunch or something, and I came back and she was laying on the plushies. So I guess she just likes laying on the plushies. Girl, what is your plan? She has dug herself under the plushies. What are you doing? Okay, and then the other color is called Mint. So I am so creative and just name the different colors the name of the yarn. Alright, then I think the next thing I'm going to do is the ladybug. Let's see, if we take my anchor out of the pile, it didn't really make it look any smaller. I tried. The other annoying part about new items is I have to put the price in. I like to use the option on Shopify. I always do that. to put my cost per item in. Okay, I think those two are done. These two, I think I'm just going to, I have a chick listing. It's for a different pattern. Close enough. So I'm just going to do that. You'll notice a lot of the plushies that I have in this pile that need done are from the Crochet by Jenna book. That would be from me going through and making a lot of them for my review video. I did see she's coming out with another book of jumbo plushies, and I don't think I will be purchasing that book just because from the two plushies that I could find that are from that book, they're just too big. Like, they're gonna cost too much to try to sell. So I'm just not gonna bother with it. I do have some other books that I would like to review. So I do have a keychain one. I have cryptics. I have pre-ordered Crochet by Zaddy's book that's coming out. Do you all like the review videos? I got to a point where I was scared to post part 3 because one person decided to be nasty in the comments of part 2. I don't know why people feel the need to put hate comments and mean comments on stuff. Like, I had one person feel the need to let me know they were unsubscribing and why they were unsubscribing. Like, just unsubscribe. You don't need to be mean to me. If you don't like me, that's fine. Just push the button and go about your day. Right, for some reason it did not grab the barcodes for mint. So I'll have to print those on my next go around. What else can I talk about? I don't know. It is 4:51. I think I'm going to call it quits at 5 on tagging plushies. And then, honestly, since I'm home alone, I will probably just crochet for the rest of the night, or at least for a little bit. And by that, I mean probably continue to stuff the cat plushies. Oh, crap. Alright, well, here's another thing on my to-do list. It is currently Tuesday, and my Friday video still needs edited, and it actually still needs to be finished filming. So the video that's coming out Friday is my setting up the new office video. And my office is not set up, so I could, at the very least, I mean, you'll know because this video will come out first. The lazy way out is just do a clip of here's what the room is at currently. And then I do plan to, once the room is like done, to do a office tour. So that probably won't be for like probably another month after this video posts. Just because right now my focus is on my market and not on setting up my office. But ideally I would like to do at least like an hour more of work in here. I think the biggest thing is once I get the duffels of plushies out of my room, it's going to be much easier to maneuver around here and make it look tidy. But that's just not happening. Alright, let's get Anchor out of the way. He is not going to go into a duffel bag, but it will just be nice to kind of get this priced. So this took me 5 hours to make. I knew going into it that this was going to take me a long time, so I did break my rules and time myself on the first one. I usually do second go because the first time you're learning how to do a pattern and you might not understand a row. But because the tentacles will all repeat, so I was able to do a couple tentacles and then time myself, and then the rest of it was kind of self-explanatory. I made sure to read it through. So this octopus is going to be $250, and I know that is hefty, but I mean, this is meant to be a showpiece, and at some point somebody will want it enough to pay that price. So $157.50 is my materials and labor to make the octopus. So this will be about $100 profit. And also, I can always lower the price if I decide I've had it for too long. But again, this is going to be more of a showpiece, and hopefully it'll draw people into the booth, and then it'll make the other prices seem more reasonable, even though they are a reasonable price. Even this one is a reasonable price. Okay, here is my bear in a frog hoodie. So again, I know this one, sorry, the sun is awful. This one I need to make a second one so I can price it. So in the closet it goes. Why is it refusing to print the barcode for the mint axolotl? I do still need to take pictures of my anchor, but I think I need my husband to be home to help me with that, because I don't know how I'm going to take a picture of this by myself. It's still fun though. I did make this in Vlogmas 2 separate days if you're curious about watching me make it. I believe both of those Vlogmas are titled something about the challenge wheel betrayed me somehow in that way. So I know I said I was going to do my pocket pals last. I also said I was going to finish my day at 5. And it is now 5 exactly. But I kind of want to see what my pocket pal situation is at, because that is something I can easily crank out before the market. I have been making some throughout the week, but that was literally me just picking random colors and hoping for the best. I believe I got them all out from the corner. There's quite a few in here. So spider is the easiest. There's 3. And it appears I have no stingrays. So that's not good. And also these are easy because I don't tag my pocket pals, but I do calculate the colors out. Spiders are just easy. It's purple and gray. 1 gray, 2 purple. Alright, so let's... Oh, okay. So I think I'm going to set them next to me after I inventory them color-wise, and then we will count them total-wise for my spreadsheet, and then I'll put them in the bag. So we have 4 daisy chain. We're going to ignore miscellaneous and come back to it. Petal Power has 3. Beach Ball has 3. Thankfully, most of these are accurate so far. Party Pop, I'm only seeing 1. Anemone, this color. Again, only seeing 1. Surf, 2. Peace and Love, 2. Flower Child, I think is this one. 1. Ruby Glow, is that this one? I'm hoping. Spring Hummingbird, Pink Lemonade. Okay, so that's everything that is like marked down. So then I guess my miscellaneous is 6. So now we have a couple more that I guess I made this year. So let's see what we come across first. Wonder Bread, I don't have any made. Tourmaline, I have 1. Stormy Ocean, I have 1, but I know I've made a bunch this week, thankfully. Again, that one was literally just a guess of hoping I needed that color. Mini Succulents, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. You might think this is a ridiculous amount of pocket octopus. I sold 186 last year. That number is not off the top of my head. I looked it up earlier today. So I just want to make sure I have a huge amount, and people are more likely to impulse buy. These are my cheapest items at $12. The Pocket Pals, octopus being the best for the Pocket Pals. So we have 4, 6, 7 of the strawberry dot, and that is my best selling color. So now we will count them as I put them in the bag. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 7, Here's I have 47 at the moment, and I do have a handful more that need their eyes added and stuff to finish. So that brings me today to a total of $3,954 in inventory. So I think for sure this behind me is more than $500 in inventory, so I think my guess was too low as to inventory. And currently we're at 172 plushies. Whew, that's a lot. This is going to suck to do on Thursday, but I think if I go into Thursday knowing that's like my main priority, it'll be better and it won't be the end of the day when I'm exhausted. So we're calling it quit on Tuesday at 5:07. Again, I will not be doing this on Wednesday because tomorrow is a glaze day and that's going to be like a 10-12 hour day. So I'll be back on Thursday. Happy Thursday. So let's tackle all of this. So yesterday was my glaze day, like I mentioned, and I ended up being there for 12 hours. So I've had a very slow start to the morning today. I'm letting myself relax a little bit, especially after having pushed myself so much yesterday. So I did, between the last time I've seen you and now, I've made 3 light purple axolotls. Those are in my This Week Makes box though, so I need to tag those at some point, as well as everything else I've made this week. But I'll probably wait until tomorrow when I've filmed that video. I don't know yet. I did also go ahead this morning and I took the pictures for the mouse and the fox. So if I don't get those up before the market, it's not the end of the world. I have the pictures now. And I did on all of these new ones I'm making, because I'm not putting in a bunch of effort right now. We'll see if I actually go back to them. But I am making them so that they only show up on my POS system. So you can't find them on the website, the new ones, at least as of now. So that hopefully at some point I will go back in, add the pictures in, actually make a description, all of that fun stuff. And then I will make it so that it's active on the website. So we're going to see if today the barcode lets me actually print the ones for the mint axolotls. So let's find out. Maybe if I print it just by itself. I also might get selective today and, okay, thank goodness, it's letting me print the mint. There is a possibility that I don't bring all of my plushies to my market. We'll see. I mean, I guess also if it goes past 4 duffel bags, then it's not coming. So we've got the 2 mint that I've been trying to print. And so by that, I mean, like, I know I have a bunny in here. It is springtime, so I want to make sure the bunny makes it in the bag, so I'll probably grab it next. I have some acrylic Easter basket things that I made years ago that I've just never sold, so I am going to price those super cheap just to hopefully get rid of them. I don't even know how long they took me. That pattern probably would, I think it was made out of acrylic in the listing, but I feel like that is a better one to make with bigger yarn, because here, let me grab it. Okay, here's one. So it's supposed to be a basket, so there's a hole inside. And then you have this little hat, so it's like a gnome Easter basket, but it's not very big to put candy in. Let's see, I was originally trying to sell these for $42, it looks like. So, I don't know, maybe we'll discount those slightly just because I've had them so long and I don't want them, and they also can only sell at a certain part of the year. I don't typically discount my stuff like that, but I just want those gone. So here are the bunnies I said I wanted to prioritize. So I guess let me just grab my prioritize. It is also a St. Patrick's Day festival, so I'm going to prioritize green items. So here are my caterpillars. We have my crocodiles. I feel like the bee is very springy. A dinosaur. Or, this is a dragon, but it's green. A plant. More bee, more plant, more plant. And then I am going to take my 2 cat splooters here and just add them to my cat bucket and worry about those another day. Because none of the cats are coming to this market. They will be at my next market. So I think next week I will tag all of those. So I'm not going to worry about cats right now. But I am filming a cat prep video. So if you're curious about watching me tag all those, I'll probably throw that in that video as well. So it should be... I never stick to my schedule. This video, the next video should be my St. Patrick's Day festival. Then the video... I'm talking my Friday videos. I'm not talking about my weekly makes. St. Patrick's Day video, then the next week is prepping for the cat festival, and then the cat festival vlog. Those should be the next 3 videos. Alright, I'm hoping, I think we can finish everything today. We'll see what we do. Oh, it is 11 a.m. by the way. I told you I'm having a slow start to my day. Tomorrow, Henry comes home from being out of town, so I'm excited for that. Oh, I also slept terribly last night. I believe I mentioned earlier in this video I have really bad paranoia. And one of my cats was just running around the house yesterday and she was making all sorts of noise. So I literally kept getting woken up from a dead sleep to, at one point I woke up and my heart was racing because I thought the noises I heard were a person, but it was just my cat being annoying. Alright, so I'm doing the caterpillars first. They're $28. These bees, I believe I did something similar earlier. I have a similar bee that is just a different price, or it's the same price, it's just a different pattern. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, maybe I'm making its own listing. I am not really into making bees lately. Okay, here, actually I did find it. Never mind. Apparently this is going to be a different price. I'm not making bees anymore, except I will probably make rainbow bees for Pride. But I made these for the book review that I've mentioned a bunch because apparently I have a lot of those plushies. Well, I guess it makes sense because I believe I did part 3 after my last market. So I've just been collecting a bunch. Okay, that took me forever, but these 2 are going to be $22 a piece. Then I guess let's keep the trend going of doing the Jenna book. So here are the bunny pattern. Each of these is unfortunately going to get its own listing because they are going to be at different prices due to material costs. So I don't even remember what the adjective in front of the bunny was. A bold bunny. So the Parfait chunky one is going to be $40 and the Bernay blanket is going to be $44. I did need to take pictures of these, so I need to remember that. Alright. So the Parfait chunky one is $40 and I have one of the Parfait chunky size. But I'm going to duplicate it. Just change the price but leave literally everything else the same. This one is $44. And then I'll go ahead and take the dragon as well because this one is just as simple as finding another Parfait chunky and then I just need to duplicate it and change the pictures and color name. Alright, now we shall print those. I'm super excited about this guy. But we're not on him yet. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but we watched Hoppers over the weekend, and if you don't know me, I really like animals, and I occasionally work at the zoo, and I also have a biology degree and all the fun stuff. But I really liked Hoppers, and the whole time we were watching it, I just kept thinking about, I really want to make a beaver, and I have the perfect beaver pattern, but I don't have time right now. So that's the biggest bummer. But the song that, I want to say it's the end credit song. It's been stuck in my head all day, all of last night as well. So I know I at least missed marking the dragon on my spreadsheet. So let me go back and add that. I think that's the only one I missed. I definitely thought inventory was going to be a much faster task than it has ended up being. I want to say I've spent at least 3 hours on it so far, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, even though I knew I had all these plans this week of I was working a shift at store A and I needed to spend an entire day glazing and do inventory and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I'll have plenty of time to crochet this week. So the weekly makes is definitely going to be a lot of me just trying to make up stuff to talk about. I really hope that the glaze kiln turns out nice and nothing drips or like sticks. That's always a bummer when that happens. But I think for that, I'm gonna replace the weekly makes one week with a kiln haul. That's probably out before this one, I think. Or maybe not. I don't know. All week though, all I wanted to do is prep for the cat festival. And I have to keep reminding myself that I have all next week. No plans next week aside from editing and prepping for cat festival. This week is no cats. But it is nice to have a break from, I've been making the same pattern on repeat just in different colors. So it has been nice to kind of have a break from that pattern. Alright, so now we have the 2 crocodiles. Oh, bummer! So, I'm a broken record. I price based on time and materials. I know I've said that a lot. I love this pattern, and unfortunately, with time and materials, this guy is at $92. So that stinks. Okay, so this pattern, if you've seen the videos of when I made it, holy cow. So I had made it once in the past, and I made it out of Sweet Snuggles Light. I just found pictures of it. This was within my first year crocheting, I think, because these pictures are literally from a craft fair I did. And I just told you I'm charging $90 or $92, whatever it was. Keep in mind the Sweet Snuggles Light is bigger than the Parfait Chunky version, and apparently I sold that one for $40. Granted, I was not as skilled at crochet at the time, but that was not enough. That's back when I was just making up prices, and I was vastly underpricing myself. I do think, even though these two are different, this one's Parfait Chunky, this one is Posh, I do think, oh crap, I forgot to set plushies aside for pictures, so let me do that real quick. I'm just going to throw them on my chair. I need a bee, whoops, and then this guy. Sorry, sidetrack. In the future, I plan to only make it in Parfait Chunky if I make it again. So I do believe I'm just going to make the listing for the Parfait Chunky. And because I'm going to charge the same price for the Posh, I'll just print a barcode for the same. Okay, so I did have the plants set aside, but it looks like I haven't yet entered into my spreadsheet the pricing for the Posh version. So we're not going to do those yet because I need to get my iPad, and I'm lazy and don't want to get up. In this round, we'll go ahead and do the Cuddly Cow from the book. I think we're almost done with the book. I only see one. Yeah, I think there's just one left with a quick glance. Okay, so we have 2 cows, but they're 2 different colors. So I think I am going to make 2 different listings for them. Okay, so I think after doing the cow and printing off the barcodes, I am going to go take some pictures. I was gonna say then crochet a little bit. The only issue is, so we currently have not mounted my TV in this room, so I've just been putting it on the floor. So it sits right here, so every time I stop doing inventory to crochet, I have to set the TV back up on the floor. And I don't feel like doing that a bunch of times today, so I guess I won't be crocheting and doing inventory. I almost just left the price at the crocodile. This is $36 is what I'm going to charge. And then I'm going to duplicate it and make a brown version. I really like how this one turned out. I believe I used both colors of Burn Blanket in Baby Sand and Taupe, I think. But it's been so long that I can't be positive. No! I have 4 plushies to tag, but only 3 bags. Alright. So when we moved into this apartment, the dishwasher's been giving us all sorts of headaches. It has a smell to it, which that's what everyone wants, is their dishwasher to stink and then make the dishes smell like that. Then we found out that it wasn't draining, and we think that was part of the issue, but it still smells. So I think we need to do a cleaning cycle again, because we tried doing a vinegar cleaning before we realized it had sitting water in it. And we know it was vacant for at least 2 months before we moved in. It also did not have, you know, the little box you put the dishwasher tablet in and then close the lid. That didn't have one. And when the maintenance person came over to look at it, he said that the, I'm blanking on the word, the number that they need to know in order to know what to print, was scratched off. And he was saying, well, there's a chance we'll get you a new dishwasher because you're new tenants. So both of us were hoping to get new dishwasher. And then I was gone all day yesterday. They did have permission to come in if we weren't home. So they came in, and apparently they were just able to give us a new top for the dishwasher pod. So no new dishwasher for us. But I was mortified to come home to see that they had come in while I was out, because the apartment is a mess right now with us still not having fully unpacked, and there's just stuff everywhere. So, oh well. I probably won't be unpacking any until after my 2 markets are over. So I'm going to go ahead and tag fully the Posh Crocodile, and then the other 3 go into my pile of need pictures taken. So I'm going to take a little break to do that, and then I will come back to you all. So we are now up to date on pictures, and I even added them to the listings. However, I realized the ladybug and then both of the new colors of axolotls should have been set aside for pictures. So we'll just set those aside for the next go around. But I also looked at my spreadsheet, and we are currently at $4,448, which is just shy of my original goal. But we have mostly larger stuff, so I'm gonna guess there's another $800 of inventory behind me. But we're getting close to this 3rd bag being full. Oh, I should have brought my iPad over with me. I do need to look up which cow is which, because again, the name was too long for my tags, so I did not print them. So the brown one ends in 6-9. So this is the brown. There's that cow. And then this cow. I also still need to take a picture of my Anchor the Octopus, but it's not happening right now. I might have Henry take a picture of me with the octopus at the market. So I think the next course of action is kind of sort by easier ones. So these, I believe, are all just copy and paste, because I've made these patterns before. These are just different colors than I've previously done. We're getting close. We're almost there. So the dinosaur, it looks like every time I've done it, it has included some sort of glue in it. But this guy is $62. I am tired, y'all. This is probably going to start a 4th bucket though, just because, like I mentioned earlier, larger plushies are easier to start the bags rather than finish the bags. So $62, that's accurate. 1 in stock, and save. So of course this guy will need a picture, and we'll go ahead and toss it so I don't forget. I just tapped my cat's foot. So now we'll do the Sleepy Unicorn. Both of these are by Katie Dids. I will try to put, oh no, just kidding, this one's not a copy paste. I don't have the information about pricing, so that actually might be a put in the closet kind of guy. I'll try to put my like master list of all my whatchamacallits patterns I use. So if there's something that you can't find in there, just leave it in the comments and I will get back to you about it. But most everything also should be in a weekly makes and tagged in whatever video I made them in. That's another thing I need to do with now taking pictures of everything. I know lately my weekly makes have just been essentially just color slide that just says weekly makes, and I need to go back in and add a bunch of the photos of what I actually made. I just never took pictures of them, so how was I supposed to add it to that? So actually we'll leave this. I have a draft of this pattern that is just called Mystery, so we will just go ahead and leave it as a mystery color, because again, I probably won't have all of these colors again. I will go ahead and add that to my pile for pictures. Alright, my cat is right behind where I'm throwing these, so I'm nervous I'm going to hit her. Let's go ahead and do our lion splitter next. I do have hopes in the future. Okay, this one's not fully done. It looks like I still need to weigh out the after so I can figure out how much stuffing I used. So I guess I'll make a pile of, they're almost done, they just need pricing still. Oh, I do want to in the future make those out of parfait plush in a bigger size. So I was messing around with what accent color I liked better. I think the fox splitter, is that one ready? Let's see if I've priced this. I think I have. I priced the perfect, nope, that still needs weighed out. Maybe I need to take a break here. I think I tried to do this one earlier, but saw that it's not on my spreadsheet for pricing. I found that Hershey Kiss I wanted to do earlier. This one thankfully is just print out a barcode for. Whew. I am sneezing like crazy. I always cut out my sneezes, but that was a lot back to back. Okay, so now we're gonna do the dog, and then I will go take some pictures, and then I'll bring my iPad back with me to finish out pricing. So this darling dog is also from the book. It's the last one from the book, I believe. I can confirm, the last one from the book. The dog is going to be $32. Sorry if the sniffling is annoying. Whoa, what happened there? Alright, duplicate. Alright, now I gotta make sure the website has the right pricing. $32. Okay, we're so close to being done. So I'm going to move my next pile to where you can see it. Kind of, sort of. It is 12:09. So I'm going to guess that it'll probably be about 5 hours by the time that everything is barcoded, which means I have 5 hours of footage to edit. That'll be fun. No. So now here's the hard part, because I threw some of the stuff over there already. What am I printing barcodes for? So we have the silver Hershey Kiss. We have the darling dog. I did the Apatosaurus mystery. We did the sleeping dino. Gray. If I'm missing something, we will just go back. Okay, so to help myself out a little bit, we are going to take a little bit of a break. It is 12:12. I'm going to go eat lunch because I am suddenly ravenous, and then when I come back up, I will take pictures of what I need to take pictures of, and then we'll go from there. So the two things I can currently tag are the dog, the one that's next to me because the other one I threw over there for pictures, and the one chocolate kiss that I found in the pile. And we are back. So while I was doing the pictures, I did remember to grab my iPad as well as my scale so we can get our after weight for some of them. The only thing right now I'm not 100% confident on is the eye weight, but that's okay, we'll just guess for now. it's not going to make too big of a difference on the price. So with the dog, I think we're going to call bag 3 full. And now we're on to our last duffel. So this all will surely fit. I just need to tag the dino, or I guess both of them are dinos. And then we shall move on. And there's that one. So I have the plant stuff pulled up already. This one is made out of Posh. So to get all of my weights, I do the yarn first, so I weigh the yarn before and then after and subtract the difference. That is the weight. And then for stuffing, I will weigh the after product and then subtract out the yarn weight from the overall weight. And if there's eyes, subtract the eye weight out. So it looks like it used 52 grams of yarn. Alright, so for the baby jade, it may seem a little pricey for the size, but size does not matter for crochet plushies. These are going to be $35 because they did take quite a bit of time. They take about 45 minutes to make, and then with materials and all of that. So this one, potentially I have made this in the past with Crochet blanket. So I'm going to edit that one, or sorry, duplicate it and then change it slightly. I should have quite a few more of these to make. I was trying to stash bust and made a bunch of these. They're just not all finished. I went through and finished out an entire skein of this color of Posh. I should say this is Posh / Naughty Ball yarn, but I have a bunch of pots somewhere that need to be finished up. So there's 3 of these. I'm going to be making a lot more in this. No, I'm not. I think I'm out of this color. I'm going to take a picture of this one. And now my cat is laying exactly where I've been throwing my plushies. So I'll set this gently to the side. Alright, next, I think I said my lion splitters just needed their after weight, possibly. So the lion weighs 172 grams. I'm gonna guess a random eye weight. Oh, I had already weighed the after. I just needed to figure out the eye weight. But we're just gonna go with this for now. So I had temporarily guessed $72 as the price. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. That gives me about a 40% profit margin. Maybe I should lower it. So when I do plushies, I try to have my smaller, like 30 and under, have a higher profit margin, and then my more expensive stuff have a lower profit margin. I want to see like my Pocket Pals are a 70% profit margin, but I want 30 to be my minimum profit margin. So we're going to leave these at a 40% margin for now, and if I'm struggling to sell them, I can always lower it. I love the splooters. So I think here's the problem. I like the face of this one better, like the eye size, but I like this color better. So we're going to use this one as our photo, our model, and then the other one I'll set aside. Okay, so I said this was, did I say $72? And then our other splooter that I have set aside right now is Finn the Fox. Okay, noted. So I don't have material cost for the perfect chunky version. I also still need to fix this. So that one's going to go in the closet, but we can get our after weight of the Crochet blanket one, possibly. 233, 241. He's a little big, so it's hard to get him on there. That says 371, 376. I'm getting a lot of 364s, so that might be the price we go, or the weight we go with. So the Fox has a 30% profit margin being 82, so I might raise it a little bit. Okay, sorry, I was on the wrong line. Actually, it's a 35% profit margin, so I'll just leave it there. So yeah, $82 for this one. So let's make a listing. The cost of goods to make it is $53.11, and there's that. There's a bonus pocket octopus. So we'll have to figure out. I want to guess that's sea anemone. This axolotl I've had forever, or I made it forever ago, but I just haven't wanted to make a listing. And sometimes I'll do this where instead of actually printing out a barcode, I will just write a price on the tag in Sharpie, and then I just enter a custom So we're just gonna do that. My larger ones I sell for $21, and again, this is the exact same pattern, takes the same amount of work, but less material cost, so this is $18. So that guy's in there. Let's look at the Feisty Fox Parfait Chunky. This one, if I have the materials, we will go ahead and make a listing. If not, it needs to go in the closet. Perfect. We have most of the way. We just need the after. So this is 86 grams. Looks like I used 45 grams of yarn, and then it weighs 86. So to get a similar profit margin for the larger one, this one is going to be $36, whereas the other is $40. I'm getting sleepy. I don't know why I said getting, I've been sleepy. I might be bad though, and the last of this finish tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, especially because I still need to finish the video that is coming out tomorrow for me. So it is my part 3 of setting up the yarn room. I did go through and edit what I have currently, and I think I definitely need to add some to the end of that video. So I'll need to work on my yarn room a little bit today so I can finish that video, get it posted. One good motivation about that though is having that video, having a deadline to come out is giving me a little bit of a push to, you know, actually set up my room. I want to say it's been like 3 weeks or something like that since I filmed the first part, and I haven't really touched it since, so this is going to encourage me to actually set up the room. I've been just living in boxes and walking around them. 4 plushie types, print barcode labels. As far as my computer is concerned, we're done with it. It is a very old computer. I've had it since freshman year of college, which is getting close to a decade now. But it's definitely at the point where, granted, I do leave tabs open when I close my computer, but it's at 100% right now. By the time I go to open it tomorrow, it'll be at 0%. And right now the fan is very loud, trying to cool it off. I'm very thrilled to know that we've priced some more plushies. I did just look, and I don't think the unicorn is priced. So that might be going in the closet, but again, we'll just worry about that tomorrow. It is currently $150. I am kind of glad to know that I can spend a little bit of time crocheting today. So in the meantime, I'm going to go crochet something, I don't know yet. So I'm going to put my TV back so I can have some background noise of watching some YouTube. I have a third bag that we can take downstairs, so that is one more thing we can get out of the room. I guess for now, I can put this back here. That way it's out of the way for my other video when I'm going to go work on or setting up the yarn room. So I have these 4 plushies here that need photos taken and added to their listings. And then that's going to be it today. And I'll be back tomorrow to finish up the last bit. And we're going to ignore all of the cat plushies until next week. So I will see you tomorrow. It is now Friday, which means if it doesn't get done today, it doesn't get brought to the market. So you might see the closet's a little different. I did clean up the office a little bit, and by that I mean shove unpacked boxes in the closet. But this yellow bag here are the plushies that I had thrown in there that need to be priced still. So I do think I will be making a goal to at least price 1 plushie in that bag a week moving forward, so we'll see if I can stick to that. I did go through and stuff some pocket pals that I had on the floor that needed eyes. I had the eyes, I needed to bring them upstairs. So we also have a couple of stingrays, and then the 1 octopus that ended up in the pile that never got done. My laptop needs to turn on. So it looks like we have not too much more. We have the sea stars, the 2 bats, This unicorn I think is going to be getting put into the bag of to be priced, but we'll determine that for sure. Then I have this turtle. This panda does need to go into the to be priced bag. It is from a keychain book, and that's all I've done from the book. So I do know for sure I need to price that. And then we have these little bunny things that I might be clearancing. We shall see. This turtle also, I don't know if it is priced or not. For sure not for that yarn. This was using, I believe they're both Sweet Snuggles Light or Sham Homson, one of those. So I might just give it the price of whatever other yarn I had. Okay, so now that the computer has finally decided to log in, or was more so decided to not die on me. Like I mentioned, my laptop is at the point where I literally closed it yesterday at 100% and it is dead this morning. So I just plugged it in. We're at 2% currently, but we should be fine. Alright, so let's edit our inventory because thankfully Pocket Pals don't need to be tagged. I also did find my electronics for the market tomorrow. It's currently 11:35. I still need to, I have to go to the studio today to unload my kiln, which is not going to tomorrow's market, it's going to next week's market. I still need to go to the bank. I still need to load the car. Are those my big thing, I think? Oh, and then I still need to record my weekly makes and then tag my weekly makes, which is not a lot of stuff, but it all adds up. It's gonna be a late night. But Henry is home, so that's all that matters. I just picked him up from the train station. Okay, so I'm going to do our spreadsheet first while that loads. So I have 5 Party Pop octos and then 2 other octos, so 7 octos. And then stingrays, I have 5 for now. I do have some more in my weekly makes, but that'll be towards the end of this video. Okay. So now that we've got this pulled up, anemone, so added to website, into the bag. Now we have, it looks like it's currently alphabetized. So I'll go down to tourmaline, and then we have our 5 Party Pop. Looks like I had 1, so we have 6 now. Save our inventory for octopus, and then I will pull up stingray. Trying to think about alphabet. Many succulents is first in the alphabet. We have 2, and then I have 1 Party Pop. We have 1 Stormy Ocean, and 1 Tourmaline. Alright, so I should have brought my iPad over with me. I am 95% sure this one is not priced. So these sea stars I've had for a while. They were actually a stash bust, and all of my duplicate colors I took to market and I sold them over the course of the past year, but I wanted to take a picture of all of the different colors and make the listing title be mystery color, but I never got around to taking the photo and I just never did it. So it looks like I already have a listing, it just needed a photo, so that's why those never made it to market. But let's find sea stars. They're $22. I'm just gonna leave it at that price. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm just gonna go ahead and, oh, they're already even in my website inventory. I just literally need to barcode them. So we're gonna do that. Also, in case you didn't know, while this loads, these have had a name change. So they are not called starfish anymore, same with jellyfish, because neither of them are fish. So these are now called sea stars and have been for a little bit, and jellyfish are now called jellies. You're not technically wrong if you say starfish or jellyfish, but the proper term now is sea star and jelly. So in case you're ever wondering why I call them that, sometimes I will throw in the fish version of both of those names just to not garnish any confusion. I do believe the jellies are still listed as jellyfish on my website, but oh well. I did make a handful of things yesterday / throughout the week. So I made 3 more mushy boys, and you'll see these later because I still have to barcode them. I made 3 mushy boys to bring me to 4 for markets. I made 3 light purple axolotls, and then I made 1 more light pink to bring me to 3. I ideally wanted to make 3 more to bring me to 5, but I just don't have time for that. I was looking at 2 data as to what sold, and it seems like a lot of things I sold out of. But I definitely have a lot more inventory this year as opposed to what I did last time I went to that. Ugh, I hate when I find a broken. Ooh, I opened the window earlier for my cat and now it's a little chilly. We are so close to the end. Also, I did deem not moving my TV fully. I just pushed it back and moved the plushies in front of it. So potentially, I don't think, maybe you can. Yeah, you can see what time it is while I work on this. This one is made out of tomato sparkle and I think it's my favorite. We are so close. Now that those are done, I think these I'm not gonna make a listing for. I'm going to do that thing I showed you earlier where I just write a number down on the tag and maybe I'll even write on it clearance. So let's see if I've done the math for the bats already. I'm really hoping so. Okay, it looks like I did not finish it. So thankfully I still have the scale over here. So we need to get our after weight, which is 181. And since I have two, sometimes I will average it out. That one's 186. So we're gonna call this like 184 minus the eye weight minus the yarn weight. So with a 37% profit margin, these are $68. These took quite a bit and I have no plans of making these again. They were frustrating the entire way through. Let's see what I sold it for a couple of years ago when it appears to have been made out of Sweet Snuggles and Light. I sold it for $38. So goes to show you when I was making up prices, I was not getting my money's worth, especially because the granted I do pay myself more hourly than I would have at that time of year. I didn't do my prices this way, but I give myself a raise every year because I'm getting more experienced with it. So the cost to make this is $42.41 between my labor and materials and all of that. So let me change this to be only on, oops, the POS, not the online store. I do need to take a picture of one. This one's eye got all messed up, so I'm gonna take a picture of this one. Alright, which means we just have this turtle left, which I believe is the Crochet Grove version. So I sold the perfect chunky version for $28. I can't get exact materials, but I'm just gonna put the stuffing weight in there and have it calculate the yarn as stuffing weight as well. So I'm gonna make it $32 just because it's a little bit bigger. I have too many turtles in my website. I'm just trying to duplicate the same pattern. Alright, so I'm going to throw that over there to get a photo of. So I only need to take 2 photos right now. And then let's see, these I had at 42. I think I'm going to make them, again, I do not do this a lot. I just want these gone. I think I'm going to mark on the tag clearance $20. Alright, so I have 2 plushies I need to print a barcode for. So first I have to create the barcode. I have 1 extra barcode that is hole punched already. Okay, I'm so relieved to be done at least with this. Actually, I'm gonna go grab it here in just a second. The weekly makes, and we'll barcode what we can. And then I'll be done with this task for the day and move on to my next task. Never-ending tasks. That is done. And here is my names of the week. So I'm gonna dump them out. And then I need to remember not to put them in the bag yet. So I'm gonna put the box in front. We are going to ignore the cats for now. Again, I will tag all of the cats next week. We have a handful of things that need tagged. So that would be 4 axolotls and then 3 mushy boys. So I'm gonna print those first and then I'm gonna go back and edit all of my inventories. And hopefully I don't forget. Then we'll see what our end total is. Oh, and all of the pocket pals I have. I still have some more numbers to do, but that means I'm done printing tags. I don't think I've ever been more excited to get something over with. Alright, so let's update our spreadsheet. See what all we have left to do. And then we'll end this video. So axolotls at 4, mushy boy 3. Now I will be going back after I finish this up to edit inventory in the website, but I just want to get this over with. So we have 3 more stingrays, which brings us to 8 total stingrays, so not a lot, but I guess better than nothing. And then I have a ton of pocket octos. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, which means I have 69 pocket octopus. So if you haven't already, drop your guess in the comments as to how much inventory we have. So just crochet wise, and again, excluding cats and this bag that I need to price, that's 242 plushies for a total of $5,754 in inventory. So hopefully we sell quite a bit at this coming market, and then the plan is only cat stuff goes to the next market, but I might bring a couple of bestsellers. Like I'll probably still bring my pocket octos, probably bring the possums. We'll see what all I decide to bring. If you're excited to see how those 2 markets go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Tell me what your favorite plushie you saw me pull out was. And yeah, that's it for now. I know this is a very hefty video. So if you stayed till the end, thank you so much. And why not? Let's drop an emoji in the comments. I know I've asked you to comment a lot, but let's do the salsa dancer emoji. If you made it to this point, drop that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.